Right, there's the coupling for the flex drive shaft. As I say, flex drive. Today I noticed it was a bit strange on the pickup on the water. I put it down to choppy waters, but there we go. We've got a wobbly drive, never mind flexi drive. Looks like it's run a bearing. Alright, so on Wednesday gone, this SR90 threw a bearing in the strut that supports the prop. And the reason I believe is because when I've tuned the ESC on Wednesday, for some reason it's now picking up reverse. When I go down over previous iterations of tuning, I had the stick right at the bottom and it was picking up the throttle from there, no reverse. Now I've got reverse. So it's going to be something that tuner has done, like i.e. me. So there's a bit of forward motion. So when I was on the water, I was driving normal, the stick would be good, and then I would just want to slow down and I'd try and get the stick to the middle, but this is what happened. So what was happening was I was missing the neutral point for the motor to stop it turning, rotating. I was catching reverse, which was because this throttle stick was in the mid position. So I've done something wrong, and it did it while it was on the water rather than on the dock side, so I need to look at why. But that sudden rotation change of the motor is probably what's run the bearing out. My transmitter, I set the endpoint down to 11% for brake, reverse, which we don't use, don't need. I can not gently if I go up to 12%, kicks the motor in. Go around the hoses again. That's stick back and a little bit of reverse, which I don't want. Put it down, right, so I now know I can do, probably put that on 10. So if I do get right down there, I'm not going to hit the motor hard with the reverse rotation. Alright, so I'm going to try it the way I did run it before, with the stick at the bottom, endpoints both at 100 for throttle and reverse. Like I said, we don't use reverse or brake on a boat. So I'll just pause the camera, connect it up and see if I can get a tune this way. Right, so to do this, powering up these ESCs for boats, stick has to go forward, then we power it up. Right, so we should hear a couple of beeps if I can do this one-handed, but I doubt I can. No, we can. Just a second. No, it's proving difficult. Right, we have a connection. Not a good one. So that's found the high point. Then I would move the stick down to the bottom. There we go. Right, so high endpoints are still at 100. Now this is where I was getting it okay last time. So on Sunday, I think I was just a bit too keen and didn't quite understand what was going on. So now from there, so just a little tickle of throttle, and I've got power. There we go. So moving this stick right to the bottom, and it doesn't break the motor, it doesn't reverse it even. So I think it's the users caused the issue I've had with that bearing failing. Right, so I'm going to save those settings. And in future, I'll remember what I'm doing.